Welcome back to the channel, my friends. Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and today we're taking a look at this week's pre-orders, and they are live. This video is sponsored by CMO Games. More on that later. Alright, so as you can see, I am in the queue here. I'm down to 2 minutes left. When I first jumped in, it said 35 minutes. It has definitely been counting a little bit quicker than real time. So right now it's about 15 after. It said 35 minutes, and it says I have 2 left. So it looks like it's going about halftime. So it looks like I will have made it in about roughly like a 17-minute wait. So typically if it goes faster than real time, it means that it's not like a crazy amount of demand. But that doesn't mean that the items inside the store aren't selling like hotcakes. So I've already heard some reports that UK and Europe have sold out of some of the Kill Team stuff. We discussed basically how Games Workshop has broken up the big box. So now the terrain is in one set, and then we have like the actual 2 kill teams in another set. And I suspect that Games Workshop will have manufactured substantially more of the actual like kill team boxes and not nearly as many of the terrain. My guess was somewhere around like a 5-to-1 ratio, just because like there's going to be a lot more demand for the actual kill teams from like 40k players than there is the terrain itself. Now that being said, it doesn't mean that the terrain is not going to sell out because of that, because that's basically just saying now instead of one item that Games Workshop has to worry about manufacturing and production numbers and demand, now we have 2 separate items. So there's actually a possibility that they will have underestimated demand for one or both products now, and we may see one or both products still sell out. So I do have a couple of other measures that I can go by to just kind of see like the rough amount of demand that's with like some of the online retailers, etc., and to be able to see like what the allocations were for various shops, and then also just how much of those allocations have sold out and how quickly. And I have to say, it does look like there is quite a bit of demand for this. The terrain, definitely some demand, but not as much. But again, it looks like the allocations, or at least what the stores have decided to pick up, was a lot lower. But the actual kill team sets themselves, the salvation set, it does look like there's been quite a bit of demand for, and it has been selling extremely well. Now, I've discussed quite a bit in the past how Games Workshop will intentionally ship a lot more of their actual products to the United States because the profit margin is so much higher because of their like markup in addition to the actual exchange rate. And it definitely seems like this is the case. So we're at 1 minute now. We'll find out very shortly when we get in there. We'll take a look at everything, and then we can see just how quickly everything sells out. I do think this one is going to sell out relatively quickly. Games Workshop has not spoken specifically about if this is a one-time, one-run thing and it's gone, or if they're just putting out like an initial amount, they're holding some back, and then they'll kind of refresh the range. But from everything we know so far, this will be a limited time kit. It's not going to be the type of thing where they just like do another run in a couple months and then it goes back into the store. So if you are after any of the kill team stuff, specifically, I would say the actual like kill teams themselves, the actual bundle box, I wouldn't mess around. I would pick it up. There are still discounted retailers that have it in stock. And as of filming this video, CMO Games, my sponsor, does in fact. So I would urge you to go over there and pick it up at a discount. And to tell you the truth, it wouldn't be a bad idea to skip the queue here and go ahead and do that yourself. But of course, you know, I'm doing it for the video as well. So we are currently at 20 minutes after, and I'm down to that 1 minute mark. So the queue was at 35 minutes when I jumped in. It did appear to be going quicker, but now it does appear to be slowing down. We're definitely not on real time with the queue. But regardless, if I get in somewhere between like 20 and 25 minutes, that's still 10 minutes faster than it was estimating. And just a heads up as well, I did notice that the clear undead from Lord of the Rings with like the blue tint have shown up in the shop. So they were delayed in quite a few places, and it does look like they are actually going to be releasing this week. And again, that was a limited run item, so if you're after those ones, might want to check them out as well. I would imagine we'll see it when we do pop in here. All right, so less than a minute to go. Should be making it up here any moment now. All right, so not bad. It does look like there was a 35-minute estimate when I jumped into the queue, and we're currently at about 22 minutes after, and says that less than 1 minute to go. So not a bad wait right there. In the past, I've seen like multi-hour waits, and of course, it is random what your place in the queue is, so maybe other people are getting a much longer wait. I do think there's a lot of excitement, a lot of demand behind this, but it's definitely not going to be one of those situations, I don't think. All right, so we had the 35-minute estimate, and it does look like we're going to make it in here in about 23 minutes, so not bad. All right, so the bar is full, the buzzer has hit, and we are officially in. So here we go through the queue there, and here's our pre-orders for this week. So we see the Horrors of the Hive, 110 bucks for those. And I do urge anybody that's excited about the new Tyranid releases here, please go ahead and just buy the Leviathan set or pick up the Tyranid half of Leviathan for like 100 bucks. It's a substantially better deal. I mean, all of this stuff was included in the Leviathan set and a ton more. And just adding up these few models right here, we have $240 for these Tyranids. So that is the price of the actual full Leviathan box set. Retail was 250 bucks. So for 10 bucks more, you get everything here, plus a ton more, plus all the Space Marines and everything as well. So just scrolling down here, we do see the new Alpha Legion Saboteur Consul. Cool looking model right there. Alpha Legion, very, very nice. That is part of the 15 plus Forge World resin, 43 bucks for him. This was out last week, the Thousand Suns Librarian Consul. And then this is where the real excitement's at. Available while stocks last. So this thing does look like it's going to sell out relatively quickly. It's our new Kill Team Salvation set. So priced at 130 bucks here in the United States, limited to 1 per order. And basically this is just the early access to the Striking Scorpions and new scouts. And the Striking Scorpions have never had plastic models before, so lots of excitement behind them. And also obviously use in Kill Team. But you got to figure that a ton of the demand here is for 40K. And then of course Space Marine Scouts are extremely good. They're extremely cheap in points terms. And pretty much every Space Marine army is including 3 units of them. So we know that that's going to be a lot of the reason there is like this initial demand surge for this Salvation set. Now, I don't mean to downplay like the actual Kill Team players, but Kill Team has lost a lot of its shine over the last like year or so. A lot of people were disenfranchised by the inability to get the sets that they wanted. And realistically, most of the demand behind Kill Team over the last couple of years, most of the issues have been because it's the early access to the actual kits that are going to be used in 40K. But that being said, very nice set right here, Salvation, 130 bucks. Comes with a new book, the cards, tokens particular to the Kill Teams themselves. And then, of course, we have like the small little terrain pack, and then the Scorpions and Scouts. And then we've got a couple of the Brutal Cunning special editions still available there if you hadn't picked that up since last week. And then we see the Killzone Bheta-Decima. So this is the new terrain pack, again limited to 1 per order, $125 retail on this. Nice little set right here. Not necessarily what I would have picked for my first choice for terrain. And honestly, it's not that impressive, but it's kind of cool. It goes along with the Sector Mechanicus stuff, and I'm definitely going to be picking this up. Everything in this set, with the exception of the actual Ferrotonic Furnace, like the base cylinder right here, is new. I guess technically like the small and medium platforms aren't really new, but the long ones and the legs and all the objectives and everything are. And then of course like the big platform and the new style Kill Team barricades. So pretty cool set right here. Definitely excited to get my hands on this. Not as excited as I've been in the past for some of the new stuff, but it is cool to be going back to the outdoor environment after an entire season of Into the Dark. Now a quick message from today's sponsor. CMO Games has been selling Games Workshop products online for over 20 years. They carry the full line of Games Workshop products, including Warhammer 40,000, Age of Sigmar, Necromunda, Bloodbowl, paint tools, and more. Almost all Games Workshop products are priced at 15% off MSRP. CMO Games takes pre-orders for most Games Workshop products released at their earliest date possible. 12:01 a.m. on Saturday, they go live. Most of these pre-order products are also priced at 15% off MSRP. CMO Games offer free shipping in the US 48 with an order of $50 or more. Their customer service is top-notch and they ship most orders within 24 hours. Visit CMOGames.com using the affiliate link in the description and let them know that you heard about CMO Games from Warhammer Man. Now back to the video. Alright, and then we also see the Warhammer Underworld's Death Gorge, the new kruleboyz models, 42 bucks for those. Nice little set. We see the Enforcers Taurus Venator, 60 bucks for that bad boy. This was actually part of last week's pre-orders. And then we do see the new King of the Dead and Heralds, and this is a special edition, clear plastic. The character and his heralds, 45 bucks for those. Pretty cool. I do like the look of those. And then just scrolling down here as well, some more of the stuff from last week, the Necromunda Apothrica hardback edition, 50 bucks. And then we see the Lion Son of the Forest in paperback. Definitely to be picking up a copy of this for $17.99. And then of course the paperback Pilgrims of Fire as well, $17.99. We see the new card pack for Underworld's Death Gorge, 29 bucks for those. And then is the Malevolent masks. And then just the digital copy of Apocrypha. So didn't actually see the clear regular undead guys for Lord of the Rings. So I would imagine they're on here somewhere. I'm not really sure what's going on. I guess there's a possibility it's sold out already. More likely than not, it's just the actual website not showing them to me for some reason. Yeah, that's probably it. So very strange. I don't know why this website just doesn't want to show you the stuff that you would potentially want to buy. This is a cool little look at the actual sprues and seeing like the clear tinted plastic. I would imagine it would show up down here in the recommended. But again, we know this website is not exactly the best, and that's putting it lightly. Let me just pop over here to the Lord of the Rings stuff and see. All right, so I went over to the Lord of the Rings Evil, so we'll see if we can even find it if we're looking for it here. I've definitely found that the site is, obviously it's not great, but it doesn't even show you the stuff that you're looking for, and is very hard to find like certain things, but it doesn't mean that they're not here. So just kind of scrolling down here through the Evil, I would imagine it would be on here somewhere. Yeah, so even using the search function, I can't even find it. It's not even popping up right here. So I would imagine it's still delayed and just the special edition King of the Dead and Heralds is available here in the US. I'm really not sure, and I don't want to be overly negative, but man, this website has just been an absolute disaster. But that being said, that is it for this week's pre-orders. So it looks like the queue system in place. It wasn't terrible. Looks like overall things are selling, but not sold out yet. I mean, it's about 32 minutes after right now, but I would imagine there's probably still quite a few people waiting. So it doesn't mean this is not going to sell out. And just checking the terrain here as well, still available for now. So it definitely looks like there's some excitement behind this stuff, but some of the rumors I've heard of it selling out in the UK or in Europe in just like 5 minutes don't appear to be true, at least in the United States. But let me know if you had any difficulty getting a hold of what you wanted here, or if you're able to just pick it up, no problem. Let me know what you think of the queue system as well. I would always rather have the queue and rather have them put like the one per order in place. That way everybody at least gets a fair shot at trying to get a hold of it, or as close as possible. So as always, special thanks to CMO Games for sponsoring the video. Check them out to save 15% on Games Workshop products. Last time I checked, they still had all this stuff in stock at a discount with free shipping. And that's it for today. Warhammer Man Studios, I'm Warhammer Man, and I just want to wish everybody out there a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And I'm out of here.